high school sports fans. Are you following Varsity Media on our YouTube channel? For the best coverage of New York high school sports, make sure you head to youtube.com/varsitymedia. 3 easy steps. First, hit that like button, and then be sure to subscribe. And finally, tap that yellow bell to be notified of all of our upcoming sportscasts. Thank you for following Varsity Media on YouTube.
At St. Francis Heart Center, we're not just regional heart experts. We share our greater success with the world. We don't just pioneer technology. We do it more than anywhere on Greater Long Island. And we don't just win awards. We deliver greater outcomes for people like you. As New York's only specialty designated cardiac center, we're not satisfied with just being good. This is Long Island. This is St. Francis Heart Center. And greater lives here.
All roads to a state championship run through Hofstra. It's the New York State CHSAA A title featuring the Bishop Timon Tigers and the Chaminade Flyers on the Varsity Media Sports Network. Today's game is brought to you by Catholic Health. And we welcome you courtside. He's Andrew DeLoya. I'm John Perez. Well, we're 32 minutes away from crowning a New York State champion, Andrew. And we'll start with the Bishop Timon Tigers, who come out of Western New York. They're out of Buffalo. They played last night against Monsignor McClancy, a 4-point victory. Meanwhile, on the other side for Chaminade, they haven't played in about 4 days, knocking off St. John the Baptist Tuesday night right here at Hofstra. So it's the old adage, fatigue versus getting some rest. Where do you stand?
Well, I tell you what, Coach Paul and Coach Feeney, obviously Coach Feeney and Coach Paul will have Chaminade ready with 4 days of practice. They're healthy, they're fresh, they're well coached. You have Timon coming off the game last night, coming down from Western New York, having to stay in a hotel. Will they be able to turn it around? Will they be able to find the energy they need to get their state title? I know I spoke to Coach Rowe, and he thinks they will.
Well, we'll start with Bishop Timon, a 4-point victory yesterday, and they were really led by 2 players as well, and they will be our impact players today, as it is Jacob Humphrey and Jaden Harrison.
Dynamic players. They can both score the basketball from all levels. I mean, when you see Harrison get out in transition and hit deep threes, I mean, it shows why there's some Division I interest on him. And Humphrey's another guard who can score the basketball, definitely creating some matchup problems for Chaminade. I'm excited to see those 2 players live.
They scored 50 of the 62 points in the win over McClancy last night at Rose Hill Gymnasium at Fordham. Meanwhile, for Chaminade, like we mentioned, knocking off St. John the Baptist on Tuesday night. It was the 2nd straight NSC-HSAA title for the Flyers, and they're going to be led by a couple of brothers. It's Devin and Kyle Dillon.
Yeah, can you imagine the games of horse on that driveway? The Dillon brothers, both of them. I mean, you have Kyle and Devin. They make each other better on the court. When you have 2 guys who score in double figures, and there are only 2 of 5 guys for Chaminade that score in double figures, that creates matchup problems for Timon. So, yes, the Dillon brothers have done it all year round, and another 2 players I'm looking forward to seeing today.
What's interesting about Kyle Dillon is that he's seen as the better prospect come college time, but it's really the older brother Devin who's been lighting up as of late. He's averaging 25 points per game over his last 3 games. With that said, if these teams want to bring home a New York State title, Andrew, how do they get it done?
Well, for Chaminade, obviously they want to make sure they take care of the basketball in their motion offense. They're such a good passing team, and when the ball is zipping and they get their shooters open, they are dangerous. They want to play great transition defense. When Timon gets out in transition, they're scary, so if Chaminade can prevent that, it's going to help them. And then obviously hold them to 1 shot. Sometimes when you watch Timon play, their best shot is their 2nd shot. Conversely, for Timon, they want to speed up the game. They want their pressure trapping defense to generate easy buckets in transition. they're going to attack the glass and try to get second and third opportunities. And for them, they really have got to run Chaminade off that three-point line. They have to contest every shot. And easier said than done when you're playing against Chaminade, but they can't give them open looks.
It's going to be a fun one. It's the Tigers, it's the Flyers, and it's all coming up next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
At St. Francis Heart Center, we're not just regional heart experts. We share our greater success with the world. We don't just pioneer technology. We do it more than anywhere on Greater Long Island. And we don't just win awards. We deliver greater outcomes for people like you. As New York's only specialty designated cardiac center, we're not satisfied with just being good. This is Long Island. This is St. Francis Heart Center. And greater lives here.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Did you just have the best athletic year of your life? And now you want to show it off to college coaches? Well, let Varsity Media help you. Varsity Media's college recruiting videos show off your unique skills to help you land a spot on the team of your dream school. We'll provide music, spot shadow effects, and a link to send to your next coach. Contact us today for more information. Don't rely on word of mouth or cold emails. Let Varsity Media help you take your game to the next level.
At St. Francis Heart Center, we're not just regional heart experts. We share our greater success with the world. We don't just pioneer technology. We do it more than anywhere on Greater Long Island. And we don't just win awards. We deliver greater outcomes for people like you. As New York's only specialty designated cardiac center, we're not satisfied with just being good. This is Long Island. This is St. Francis Heart Center. And greater lives here.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Did you just have the best athletic year of your life? And now you want to show it off to college coaches? Well, let Varsity Media help you. Varsity Media's college recruiting videos show off your unique skills to help you land a spot on the team of your dream school. We'll provide music, spot shadow effects, and a link to send to your next coach. Contact us today for more information. Don't rely on word of mouth or cold emails. Let Varsity Media help you take your game to the next level. Welcome you back to Hofstra University, a New York State CHSAA title on the line. Bishop Timon out of Western New York up in Buffalo, 25-2 on the season, led by Jason Rowe. And what a year it's been for them, Andrew. Knocking off Monsignor McClanty, who picked up their first New York City title in 30 years, knocking off Fordham Prep earlier in the week. It was a really inspired effort by Bishop Timon. We mentioned Jacob Humphrey and Jaden Harrison, and this is a Bishop Timon team that, yeah, they don't have exactly 12 hours after the end of the last game, and they might not have their legs, but they're a very dangerous team out of Buffalo.
Yeah, first of all, they're very athletic. They're extremely well coached. Their coach knows what needs to be done to get them to the next level. I do wonder, and it's the big question mark, how they're going to rev themselves up. It's definitely a different atmosphere here at Hofstra right now than it was at Fordham last night in front of a packed house at Fordham Hill Gymnasium.
Yeah, that's the one thing about getting ready for a Saturday game, as they get ready for the code of conduct. But Jason Rowe, and he's got his team clicking on all cylinders, averaging 84 points a game, and Rowe's able to fill it up. More on that later. He was a heck of a basketball player, now in his 7th season as the head coach. Will meet his starting 5 as Bishop Timon will roll out. Jacob Humphrey and Jaden Harrison in the backcourt. Jaden Harrison, the all-time leading scorer in Western New York history. Nakai Harris, Mike Gibson, and Nick Fisher. And Andrew, if Bishop Timon's going to win a title and bring it back up to Buffalo, they're going to need Harris, Gibson, and Fisher to pick up the slack.
Absolutely. When you're a coach and you're relying on 3 guys like that, you feel good heading into a game like this. When the lights are on, that they're going to do everything they can to reach their goal. They can all score it. They're high-level competitors, so this is going to be a great matchup.
Meanwhile, on the other side, for the Chaminade Flyers, win number 20 would give them a New York State title. They come in at 19-7, led by the Dillon brothers, Richard Gunther, Cam Elliott, and Joe Nouse. This is a very deep Chaminade team that could shoot it with the best of them in New York State.
Well, it's nice when you have 5 starters who average in double figures. If you're the other team, if you're Timon right now and you're trying to set up your defensive game plan, where do you start? I mean, you have 5 guys who are 12, 13 points a game, 12, 11, 10. So that makes it very, very difficult as you're setting up your defensive game plan, and that's what makes Chaminade a special team.
This is game 1 of 4 today on the Varsity Media Sports Network. We'll have the girls' New York State Championships throughout the rest of the day, and a really fun one coming up afterwards. At 3 o'clock, St. Joe's by the Sea takes on Christ the King. As Christ the King looks for another state title, but St. Joe's by the Sea, led by one of the best women's players in all of New York State as well. Only a sophomore. Keep an eye on that one. And of course, be remiss if we didn't welcome in the Buffalo audience that is watching us for the first time today. Sorry that you guys couldn't make it down, but we're happy that you're spending a Saturday afternoon with us down on Long Island. And it should be a fun one. And you know what? Of the Timon fans that are in attendance today, Andrew, a good showing out of green behind their bench. Yeah, you have to be impressed for them to make that 7-hour drive down and know that they're probably not going to get the same type of buffalo wings after the game that they would upstate. That's a big deal for them. And Timon wins the opening tip, and they'll bring the ball into the front court. Fresh off that 4-point victory last night against Monsignor McClancy, it's Jacob Humphreys who had 8 points and 6 rebounds. This is Nakai Harris, only a junior, and now Chaminade. They'll throw different zone and man defenses out there as Fisher in the post, walled up by Joe Nouse, and flicks it off the window and in. That's a big bucket for Fisher. Last night when you had the 3 stars for Timon producing most of the points, for a guy like Fisher to get an early bucket is a good sign for Timon. Yeah, Fisher only took 2 shots last night in 15 minutes as Devin Dillon misses the runner, and Timon off the jump. Bishop Timon got off to a hot start yesterday. They scored the first 10 points of the contest. Yeah, they jumped all over McClancy yesterday. Some 2 deep threes from Harrison and some transition buckets, and they were up 10-0 quickly. Kudos to McClancy for weathering the storm, getting back in that ball game. Into the corner, here's Harrison. He's averaging 20 points a game and dials in his first triple of the afternoon. 5-0 Timon early on. And that's what we saw last night early against McClancy. He was able to hit some deep threes and get himself going. Hopefully for Chaminade, they can figure out a way to stop that. Look at that. Cam Elliott, the senior from Amityville. Dan Feeney wants to get him going early. He wasn't hitting his shots against St. John the Baptist, but off to a better start. Curled out, Gibson underneath. And he's disrupted. Mike Gibson, the junior, couldn't finish. Up ahead, here's Ricky Gunther, and he puts it in. One thing that people misunderstand about Chaminade is that they will run in transition. A lot of times they get dialed in as a team that just runs motion offense, but when they get a defensive stop or a rebound, they look to go. 5 straight points by the Flyers as Jacob Humphrey, the 5'10 senior, will run the show. The last possession, Gibson got an offensive rebound. That was one of the keys to the game for Chaminade. Drive to the inside, Humphrey, and a foul.
So Chaminade's going to look to box out on future possessions and make sure that they're not giving up as many offensive rebounds to Timon.
First personal foul on Joe Nouse. Our officials tonight, Joe Flick, Kevin Harrington, and James Howard, a veteran crew. One more for Humphrey.
Yeah, it's an excellent crew of officials. I've had all three of these gentlemen on my games this year, and they do an excellent job. Very, very well represented.
And it's always interesting officiating a championship game because you want to let some stuff go, and there's a steal, and Jacob Humphrey, 4 straight points, and Timon goes up 9-5.
I spoke to assistant coach Bob Paul prior to the game, and one of the things he was concerned about was live ball turnovers like the ones we just saw.
It's a very good defensive team for Timon. They're averaging 84 points a game, but they're only conceding around 67 points per contest. The first foul on the Timon side goes to Nakai Harris.
Yeah, Timon really relies on their pressure D, their trapping, their hands all over everything. They get a lot of deflections, and that generates a lot of transition baskets for them.
It's Kyle Dillon, the sophomore from Bayside, blows a tire and a turnover.
Come on, Kyle, you got this.
Well, these two teams met in the state semifinals last year. It was Timon with a 73-61 victory. Third opportunity, and it curls in. Jaden Harrison with 5 points in the first quarter. Well, if you were worried about fatigue, at least for Timon, they don't seem that tired, Andrew. Now it's a 3.
Well, a lot of these guys, they're used to playing 3 or 4 games a weekend in AAU season, and so that's where that comes into play now. They're not strangers to playing on back-to-back days.
Kai Harris, known as the Swiss Army knife by head coach Jason Rowe, 1 and done for Timon. Now it's the flip, Gunther. Snaps it to the corner, deflected, but Kyle Dillon corrals. Reverse layup is good.
That was really the first time Chaminade's gotten the ball side to side, gotten some ball reversal, and that's what they thrive on. Now they snap into what looks like a 1-2-2 zone defense.
Collision, Devin Dillon going right into the chest of Nakai Harris. As Devin picks up his first.
You're always concerned as a coach in games like this that your starters are not going to get 2 early fouls in the first quarter because it does change the complexion of the game, especially a championship game.
Gibson, quick hitter, short on the jumper. Kyle Dillon, Euro step, finger roll is good. Well, it's been a game of runs, and Chaminade has whittled the lead down to 2. And how much does that open up the Chaminade offense when you've got Kyle Dillon, probably one of the best 3-point shooters attacking inside?
Yeah, it just opens up the floor. If you're timing and you're looking to help in the paint, you can't do that because Chaminade does such a great job getting into the gaps and kicking it out to open shooters. And when Kyle Dillon's doing that, it's going to open up things for his teammates.
Jaden Harrison misses the jumper. Gunther accelerates and puts it in.
So that's a classic case of Chaminade offense where they get great ball movement, perfect spacing, and Timon couldn't help on that drive.
The wing, the handoff. Here's Harrison. Catch and shoot. Humphrey of 3. Not that time. Now it's the rebound. Joe Nouse averaging 6 rebounds per game as Gunther works on Nick Fisher. The drive inside, and looks like Fisher's going to pick up his first. Second team foul on the Tigers, and we'll get our first substitution for Chaminade. Greg Wyckoff, the sophomore from Levittown, will come in, and Gunther off on the first free throw. Well, Ricky Gunther, a good game the other day. Junior out of Valley Stream, 16 points against the Cougars of St. John the Baptist. He was 1 of 2 at the free throw line. He's got 5 in the first half.
Really good job by St. John the Baptist getting to that championship game. I don't think people expected it to be a St. John the Baptist Chaminade final in the Catholic League.
No, not at all. And, it's a team that wasn't particularly deep. They only went around 7 wide as Humphrey off on a three, a tie-up. And we'll go to the Flyers. But a good, resilient crew. And St. John the Baptist is losing a lot of leadership going into next year's crew, but that opens the door for anyone who was on the bench, and opportunity abound for the Cougars of SJB. Elliott, nice feed underneath. It's Wyckoff, and he gets it back. Elliott, deep three, air ball. Gunther the follow. And Chaminade with a three-point edge in the first quarter.
The guys you see on the floor for time and get the majority of the minutes. It's going to be interesting to see if Coach Rowe goes to his bench early to try to fight the fatigue issue that you and I spoke about.
And they went to Damian Johnson, the first guy off the bench. Quiet leader. Up ahead, Gunther gets past Johnson and scoops it in. Jason Rose seen enough. We'll take a quick 30-second timeout. As Chaminade is flying out of the gate, we lead at 16-11 with 2:23 to go. And for Bishop Timon this year, this is a team that, let's get to look back at their season. 25 wins, back-to-back Monsignor Martin championships. And hey, when you've got Jaden Harrison, things will be all right, Andrew.
Yeah, he's getting some Division I interest from some schools up that way. I do think he's going to help a Division I roster next year. Tremendous year. When you're 25-2 and your only two losses are to classic upstate programs like St. Joe's and Canisius, you can really feel proud about your season. And defeating McClancy last night was really the icing on the cake for them. And we'll see if they can top it today with a cherry.
And you know what's interesting? We were talking to Dan Feeney before the game, and Jason Rose said this during the week. As coaches, they're locked into their respective leagues, Monsignor Martin and the CHSAA. But don't think that they're not peaking upstate or downstate, getting ready for this weekend.
It's a natural tendency of a coach just to take a little peek outside the window to see what's going on in other areas, especially if you have a team that could be competing for a local championship.
Are you as guilty as that too? Normally Suffolk all year, but...
No, John. We only look at the game ahead of us, John.
Right, yes, of course. Kai Harris held scoreless. Humphrey already with 4 points in the first quarter. Misses a three and comes through the rebound. Ricky Gunther leading the way with 8 points. He's in the driver's seat. Checked by Damian Johnson. Nice slip underneath. And the bunny missed. Devin Dillon couldn't control it, but awards possession again. Pass deflected. And Humphrey with the steal. Up ahead and a travel. Happy feet called against the Tigers. That wipes a bucket off the board. Chaminade will have possession. 1:38 to go in the first quarter.
When Coach Feeney looks at the film of that one, he's not going to like the fact that one of his guys left their feet to make a pass. Typically, that's when the turnovers happen. I know they're trying to avoid live ball turnovers, so if they're playing off 2 feet today, it's going to be to their advantage. This is a set that you see Chaminade run off, and when the ball swings side to side, they get a back screen on the opposite side looking for a layup.
Attack on the inside as Jack Connolly flips it up and earned the foul.
Connolly's a tough kid.
We'll go to Damian Johnson, his first. Number 3 for the Tigers. Here's Connolly, and what a road it's been for Connolly this year. Major surgery 2 years ago. When he had a Paul George-esque type injury as well to his leg. Had to have corrective surgery. Then when he was cleared to play, he was ready to go. After a month of rehab, ready for the game, breaks his hand. And he's just been going through it, but finally healthy now, and Andrew, they're happy to have him.
Yeah, and I have to tell you, the greatest part about that story is when he broke his hand, he said to Coach Feeney, this is going to give me an opportunity to get my legs stronger in the next couple of weeks, so I'll be ready for you in a couple of weeks, Coach. Which that says everything about the kid. I mean, that's a gritty kid right there, and that's a great story and a great comeback.
And Feeney really lauds his parents, Jim and Karen Connolly, for having him fight through it, that mental toughness that he's had, and makes him a better young man for it. As Gunther with the teardrop, he's in double digits early on.
Gunther's on pace to score 48, John.
He's got to keep it up. I see what you did there. Johnson inside the elbow is good. Check that inside the arc as Johnson connects on his first. He's on pace for 8.
Common Core math coming into play today, John, for both of us.
I don't think I had the grades to get into Chaminade.
They would have taken you for your personality, Perez.
Yeah, that's what sells. Here's Elliott. Right side of the lane, up and under, and a travel. And so Bishop Timon down 6 with 9 seconds left, a chance to build some momentum going into the second quarter.
If I'm Coach Rowe, I think I know I'm going to try to attack the rim here, either get a foul call or a putback. There we go.
Humphrey can't hook it in. And that does it for the first quarter. Chaminade with a 19-13 lead. As the Flyers have been getting it going in transition. The Flyers flying high with a 6-point lead. Going to the second quarter on the varsity.
This is Jalen Brunson. You're watching Varsity Media.
At Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see extraordinary life. The most extraordinary of which is you. It's because our Catholic faith places the highest value on people. All people. It's the inspiration for our exceptional medical care with unmatched compassion. And it's why at Catholic Health you're more than a patient. You're someone's family, best friend, and a neighbor to us all. Long live Long Island.
Welcome you back for the start of the second quarter. Chaminade with a 19-13 lead over Bishop Timon and Andrew Deloya. They got it done through their transition as well. What did you see out of the Chaminade Flyers offense in quarter number 1?
Well, having been around Coach Feeney and Coach Paul, we scrimmage and we sort of like a high-level practice scrimmage type situation with my Northport team. They really emphasize in practice every day advantage, disadvantage situations where they're trying to create 5-on-4s, which turn into 4-on-3s, 3-on-2s, and 2-on-1s. And they are really one of the better teams on the island at finding those situations. Here you see them snap into a little 1-3-1, John, to open up the second quarter.
Jaden Harrison led the way with 5 points in the opening quarter. He's matched up top with Cam Elliott and gets a screen. Flips it over. Johnson sets his feet short on a 3. And Devin Dillon the rebound.
So far, Chaminade has done a relatively good job holding time into one shot. The first couple of minutes of the game, if you're Coach Feeney, I'm sure he was a little bit concerned because Timon did get some offensive rebounds early.
Yeah, and they threw a few jabs as well. Got out to a 5-0 run, and Chaminade was able to match that and just continue and then eventually take the lead. Joe Nouse from 3, bingo.
Another situation where Chaminade had the ball reversed from side to side twice, and that's how they were able to find an open set shooter. Coach Feeney has a weapon there, and now being able to step out at his height.
Yeah, now 6'5" senior from Copeg. Only 3 points against SJB on Tuesday night. Here's Aaron Hicks, the fall-away jumper, and he rattles it in.
Hicks is a guy who came in off the bench and did a nice job against McClancy last night.
Yeah, he was scoreless, but he had 3 assists and really did a good job of stepping in the passing lanes as Chaminade misses the layup. Hop step and a foul. Jaden Harrison will head to the line. As it'll be the first personal. Check that. Second personal foul on Devin Dillon. The team's first. Just brings Harrison to the line.
While we have a second, John, I just want to compliment McClancy on a great year. I mean, kudos to them for knocking off top seed Fordham Prep and getting themselves in a position for a championship. I mean, Rosales and Gaston last night, they did everything they could to lift the Crusaders to victory, and great job by the McClancy program this season.
Yeah, Anthony Olszewski in his 9th season and leading his team to a championship. First time since 1990, and it's especially special for him. He was a McClancy grad as well, graduated in 2001.
He did an excellent job with his program, and he has a lot to be proud of. I know Coach Kent, a long-time McClancy coach for years, who gave up the program about 9 years ago. I'm sure he was very proud, and it was a good day a good year for McClancy basketball.
Nows can't connect on his second triple. As the pass comes near side, it's Harrison. Humphrey whips it. Harris a 3. Not that time, and Timon really hasn't found their shot from deep.
Well, I'm always interested to see where kids are setting up their feet on the college court. You have the 3 lines on the court, and it's a natural tendency to step behind the college line. Now, the Chaminade guys all have great range, but if you're a shooter who's a good shooter from 20 feet and you're stepping out 23, 24 feet, it can throw you off.
Devin Dillon collects his own miss, and on the second opportunity, scores. He's got 6 in the first half.
Almost like a matchup zone that Chaminade's playing. They're switching players off, just kind of taking Timon out of rhythm. And if they can do that and make Timon play half-court basketball, it's to their advantage. In that situation, Harris stepped into one and got his feet set and got a clean look.
First points of the afternoon for Nakai Harris. He had 24 points last night in only 22 minutes. Jack Conaway. Elliott drives baseline. Might have been deflected. Good defense by Nakai Harris. Humphrey throws up a wild shot off the treetops and now it's the rebound. Looks like Humphrey's a little shaken up underneath the basket.
Do we have a technical foul here?
Looks like we are. We'll wait for the announcement, but yeah, technical foul. Coming after the play. Let's take another look, Andrew.
Looked like Humphrey was a little out of control, and when he went down, he may have said something to James Howard, and that's a no-no with James Howard.
And so Cam Elliott will shoot the technicals. Yeah, so that'll go to Jacob Humphrey as he picks up the technical. And Elliott makes the Tigers pay and sinks both of them. I always think back to the scene in Bull Durham where maybe you say the magic words. I don't think he said those exact words, but it was enough for Howard to tee him up.
It's a classic movie you just quoted there, John.
That's all I have. Jack Connolly, 5'10" senior from Manhasset. Off to Joe Nouse.
Last night we saw Timon snap into their zone just to throw McClancy off a little bit, and they're trying to do the same thing tonight here with Chaminade.
Gunther gets the offensive rebound and walks.
Before that technical foul, John, it looked like Timon was just about to get the game flowing to their tempo. So we'll see how they react now with the technical foul being down 6.
There's the 3, and that's good. Nakai Harris, second triple of the quarter. And here come the Tigers. It's a 3-point game.
Yeah, and John, ignore everything I said about the college 3-point line because he just hit his last 2 shots from behind the arc, the college arc.
Hey, he wants to play at the next level. So does Gunther, who's cooking in the first half. He's got 12.
Again.
Yeah, again. Harris, another 3. It's the Nakai Harris show in the second quarter.
Again. What movie's that from?
Miracle.
Very good, very good.
I don't think McClancy were the Soviets or as good as them. But how about Nouse? Lighting the lamp as Joe Nouse from deep.
John, if there was 4 lines on the court and the NBA line was there, I think they'd be shooting from the NBA line today. Wow.
Jacob Humphrey. Harrison. Pull up, elbow. Off the heel, now it's the rebound. Gunther has to leap for it, couldn't corral it.
Now that's one of the turnovers that Coach Feeney and Coach Paul can live with because it's a dead ball turnover. Their major concern was turnovers that led to what Coach Feeney and Coach Paul called pick sixes, going the other direction. Right now they are able to set up their defense, they're able to snap into their defense, slow timing down, so it doesn't hurt them as much.
There's Damian Johnson. Trying to work with the Gibson screen. Here's Humphrey, a 3. That's good again. Who does Jacob Humphrey play for, Andrew Deloya?
I wish he was playing for Northport right now, to be honest with you. We might still be playing.
Flyers lead down to 2. Gunther, that's a deep 3 in front of the Timon bench. Doesn't get the roll. And Johnson couldn't save it. They stay with Chaminade.
In all seriousness, it's amazing how three-point shooting can change the complexion of a game. And we're seeing that right now. It's how Timon's been able to get back into the ball game.
Quick hitter, Elliott. He'll flash a 3. Bingo. It's raining 3s in Uniondale as the Flyers go back up 5. With that 3, you're never out of a game. Harris again, it's number 4.
I'm just super impressed with both teams on how they're stepping into shots with confidence.
He came into the game shooting at a 54% clip. So is Elliott. In and out. Gibson the rebound. But either way, he's shooting well north of that 54-point mark.
Gibson, who just got that defensive rebound, Coach Rowe calls him their team's Draymond Green in a good way. So it was an interesting commentary on Gibson, but he does a lot of their dirty work. And sometimes he doesn't get the accolades, I'm sure, that the other 3 guards get, but he's a huge piece of what they do.
And to win a championship, you need those type of guys. Here's Wyckoff to the basket and lost it.
Now, that was a good piece of officiating by Joe Flick. That was the same no call down on the other end where Humphrey got the technical foul. And so when you see consistency from veteran officials like that in a game like that, game like this, it allows the coaches at halftime to make their adjustments properly, knowing that the officials aren't going to affect the game. You know how it's going to be officiated. You know how it's going to be dictated. And that's helpful from a coach's perspective.
Here's Nakai Harris with 67 seconds to go in the first half. He leads the way with 12 points. Posting inside. Here's Harrison up and under, rattles it in.
The footwork on that move was high level. If you notice, he played off 2 feet. That's one of the things that the Villanova coaching staff preaches, and you saw it right there in action.
Harrison's got 9 in the opening half. 17-second differential between game and shot clock. Dylan to Wyckoff, Elliott. Here's Naus. Southpaw 3, in and out. Wyckoff can't get it. Naus the cleanup. Joe Naus with his first field goal in the paint. He's got 8, and 1 shot for Bishop Timon.
Shot clock's off.
As Jacob Humphrey gets instruction from Rowe. 5 seconds to go opening half. Humphrey, Johnson, lets it go from 3. Short, Gibson, they'll wave it off. What an exciting first half as the Chaminade Flyers take a 2-point lead going into half.
I bet you they wish they had that red light on the backboard at the Camden-Manasquan game last week. When you look at that right there, that was a tough call for Mr. Harrington, but he had the red light to help him.
100% as we welcome in Dan Feeney, the head coach for Chaminade, your team with a 2-point lead going into the half. Dan, what did you see out of your team in the first half?
Made some shots early, built a little bit of a lead, and then gave them right back. And I think both teams are making shots right now. We tried to mix in a little zone. We have watched a few games on them, but not 26 of them. And the kid Harris is making shots right now, which that was part of our game plan. Make him do that. He has, so we got to adjust the adjustment now.
Yeah. Is the pace of the game where you want it to be?
Yeah, just like them to stop making some shots. So I think figuring out where they're getting them, how easy, and then offensively right now for us, they threw a zone. We've done a poor job of where we're getting shots from, so we got to clean that up at halftime, and I think we'll get shots. And Devin's sitting on the bench for that long. He'll be back out there, and that'll impact us hopefully.
All right, Dan, thanks for the time. Appreciate it as always.
Thanks a lot.
That's Dan Feeney, the head coach for the Chaminade Flyers, as Chaminade with a 36-34 lead over Bishop Timon in the New York State CHSAA A Final right here on the Varsity Media Sports Network. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
At St. Francis Heart Center, we're not just regional heart experts. We share our greater success with the world. We don't just pioneer technology. We do it more than anywhere on Greater Long Island. And we don't just win awards. We deliver greater outcomes for people like you. As New York's only specialty designated cardiac center, we're not satisfied with just being good. This is Long Island. This is St. Francis Heart Center. and greater lives here.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Hey parents, how about a bobblehead for your athlete? Bobbleheads are one of the most preferred personalized gift items today, and it's so easy to order. All you need is a photo of your athlete, a model number from our extensive collection of bobbleheads, and the sculpting process begins. 2 proofs are sent for your approval, and once it's approved, in a few weeks, your bobblehead is on the way. It's that simple. Order your bobblehead today by logging into varsitymediapass.com and click catalogs, or call 516-403-2050. When it comes to advertising, are you hitting the right audience? Why waste your time with television or a free print publication that's given out at a local deli? Varsity Media has your back. With a following of over 50,000 and a local demographic ranging between the ages of 18 and 54 years old, it's time to get that return on investment. Plus, here's the best part. Your ad lives forever on our YouTube page. And with a large on-demand audience, it's a grand slam to advertise with Varsity Media. Did you just have the best athletic year of your life? And now you want to show it off to college coaches? Well, let Varsity Media help you. Varsity Media's college recruiting videos show off your unique skills to help you land a spot on the team of your dream school. We'll provide music, spot shadow effects, and a link to send to your next coach. Contact us today for more information. Don't rely on word of mouth or cold emails. Let Varsity Media help you take your game to the next level. Feel like your game film is too stagnant and not providing you with the insight that your coaches had hoped for? Varsity Media offers game film to help your coaches develop a game plan to execute on game day. Our current clients love the Varsity Media difference, which includes more insightful camera angles and a speedy upload process. Start building your championship team today with award-winning individuals at Varsity Media.
Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
At Catholic Health, when we see our island, we see extraordinary life. The most extraordinary of which is you. It's because our Catholic faith places the highest value on people. All people. It's the inspiration for our exceptional medical care with unmatched compassion. And it's why at Catholic Health you're more than a patient. You're someone's family, best friend, and a neighbor to us all. Long live Long Island.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck.
Did you know Varsity Media now offers action photography for all sporting events? Available for individuals or teams, we'll send dedicated photographers down to field level to capture your best moments. Our rates are affordable, and our photos will leave you with lasting memories for a lifetime. Contact us today, mention this ad, and get $25 off your first order. Email ben@varsitymedia.net or call 516-403-2050.
High school sports fans, are you following Varsity Media on our YouTube channel? For the best coverage of New York high school sports, make sure you head to youtube.com/varsitymedia. 3 easy steps. First, hit that like button, and then be sure to subscribe. And finally, tap that yellow bell to be notified of all of our upcoming sportscasts. Thank you for following Varsity Media on YouTube.
Varsity Media is offering a video folder that you can customize to meet your needs. A photo of your athlete can be elegantly placed in the front panel. Essential statistics with a biography can be printed on the inside panel, and videos can be downloaded and viewed on an LCD screen for as long as 2 hours. The attractive video folder can be placed on a coffee table and instantly becomes a conversation starter. Order your video folder today by logging into varsitymediapass.com and click Catalogs, or give us a call at 516-403-2050. Looking to grow your business on social media? Let Varsity Media help you. With over 50,000 followers across our platform, sponsor a segment during the broadcast and share it on social media the next day. It's the best of both worlds, as you'll get thousands of plays and your ad will live on the broadcast forever. Contact us today for sponsorship packages by calling 917-470-0864 or emailing varsitymediasponsors@gmail.com. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
At St. Francis Heart Center, we're not just regional heart experts. We share our greater success with the world. We don't just pioneer technology. We do it more than anywhere on Greater Long Island. And we don't just win awards. We deliver greater outcomes for people like you. As New York's only specialty designated cardiac center, we're not satisfied with just being good. This is Long Island. This is St. Francis Heart Center. And greater lives here.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Hey parents, how about a bobblehead for your athlete? Bobbleheads are one of the most preferred personalized gift items today, and it's so easy to order. All you need is a photo of your athlete, a model number from our extensive collection of bobbleheads, and the sculpting process begins. 2 proofs are sent for your approval, and once it's approved, in a few weeks, your bobblehead is on the way. It's that simple. Order your bobblehead today by logging into varsitymediapass.com and click Catalogs, or call 516-403-2050. Welcome you back to Hofstra for the New York State CHSAA A title as the Chaminade Flyers with a 36-34 lead over the Bishop Timon Tigers. Alongside Andrew Deloy, I'm John Perez. Boy, it was a fun first half. If you love shooting, you love defense. It was a great first half. Jason Rowe over there, a heck of a player himself too back in the day. We didn't get a chance to talk about his accomplishments on the hardwood.
Well, I'll tell you what, Jason, you and I were out here about 70 minutes before tip-off, and he must have hit 20, 25 threes in a row. Tremendous player, Buffalo Traditional School. First player in New York State history to score more than 2,000 points and have 1,000 assists. Played at Loyola Division I, 18 points per game for his career. Then he had a tremendous pro career. And I'll tell you, but to reset right now, what he's telling his guys at halftime is, hey guys, there's 16 minutes left to go. We have a goal in mind. I don't care if you're tired. I don't care if you didn't sleep well in the hotel. Lay it on the line and give us everything you have.
Someone who has been giving it all for Chaminade is Ricky Gunther. He's got 14 points and a quick turnover.
On the flip side, you have Coach Feeney, who has just done such a tremendous job with this program alongside Bob Paul and Mike Ferraro. You know, Feeney has been 16 years with the program. This is his 3rd year as a head coach. Won the title last year, beating St. Anthony's. The year prior, they lost to Trinity in overtime at a heartbreaker. And he has his team here, and they have 16 minutes left to go, and they're going to lay it on the line as well.
Kevin Dillon couldn't convert. And that's the interesting thing. In a little bit different format this year, no federation, so this is the final game for both of these teams.
Yeah,
Coach Gibson gets the rebound.
Sorry. Coach Feeney mentioned that. He said it was a strange feeling yesterday knowing that it was the last practice. They don't typically have that because they're always striving for the next step. So there was a little bit of finality at the end of practice yesterday for Coach Feeney, his staff, and players.
Kyle Dillon, scoop layup, curls it in. Kyle with 8. And Chaminade up 6. Here's Nakai Harris. He was shooting it from Niagara Falls. Had 4 threes in the first half, led the way with 12 points. Here's Jaden Harrison. He's averaging 20 points a game, the all-time leading scorer in Western New York, and gets off to a hot start in the second half.
That was a really nice screen by Gibson. That's something that won't show up in the stat sheet, but he cleared the lane for Harrison to make a play.
Kick out, Devin Dillon from Kyle Dillon. Bullseye.
They were beating each other up on the driveway playing one-on-one, but when they were playing 2-on-2 with the neighbors, that was the type of pass you saw on the driveway.
I can only imagine what it's like to be one of those neighbors, just hearing the argument and the ball bouncing all day. And I'm sure the neighbors are happy to see the success that they're having. Big-time rejection, and Chaminade comes up with it. Elliott, cross-swing pass, now it's a 3. Money. The Flyers soaring to a 10-point lead. Jonas letting it go from deep. And Andrew, when Chaminade's hitting their threes, they're unstoppable.
Yeah, it's really when you're playing defense against Chaminade and they're moving the ball in this manner, look at the spacing. There's 5 guys in different areas, and you have a guy who's about 6'5" stepping out to hit a college 3. There's really nothing you can do. So kudos to Chaminade for playing their style of basketball, and kudos to Coach Rowe for taking an early timeout to try to stop the bleeding. It's only 10 right now. A team like Timon can get back in this game in a hurry.
Yeah, 100%. And Chaminade with a 10-point lead, 5:43 to go in the third quarter, and a quick 30-second timeout for Bishop Timon. And take a look at the resume that Chaminade had this year. And these are all teams that were competing for titles in their respective divisions. Long Island Lutheran, I think in the latest poll, was top 5 in the country. Port Washington losing in the Nassau County Final, and then St. Raymond and Iona Prep. Deep CHSAA playoff runs. It's out of conference opponents that really get you ready for these types of games.
Well, all of these games will get them ready. And don't forget the Comac loss. I mean, Comac was 2 points away from beating Bayshore, who has a really, really good chance to win the Suffolk AAA crown tonight. I'm sorry, the Long Island crown tonight against Baldwin.
Undefeated Marauder squad. Here's a deep 3. Harrison Hoist can't hit it. Offensive rebound, and Humphrey tees it up. Splash. Second triple for Humphrey. And he's in double figures with 10.
That one came off an offensive rebound. It was a great kick out. He had his feet set. Made the timeout worthwhile.
Coach, you got to love it. After a timeout, you get a bucket. Whip to the corner, and good job by Humphrey to get in the passing lane. 19 to shoot for the Flyers.
Yeah, anytime you can come out of a timeout and stop the bleeding and get the game to a reasonable level, it's a success.
Elliott launches, short. Devin Dillon the offensive rebound, and the kick out to Gunther. Chaminade doing a good job on the offensive glass as it's flipped to the corner, and Kyle Dillon.
Timon really trying to extend their zone to get out on the shooters, but when you do that, that's what happens. You open up some gaps and you can get the ball to the middle of the zone.
Gunther lost the handle. Here's Humphrey to the basket, too strong, tapped around. Elliott goes right into the hands of Kyle Dillon. Devin Dillon, backdoor feed. Ricky Gunther reverse layup. A Sweet 16 for the junior from Valley Stream.
That was a beautiful setup, beautiful pass, on time, and a great finish around the rim.
Aaron Hicks. Top to Johnson, and now it's Humphrey. Humphrey the drive inside. Pretty layup.
Really nice, what we call same side finish. His right hand on the left side of the basket kind of throws off the shot blockers. It's a high level play.
Kyle Dillon. Short Gunther. Couldn't convert. And Timon not boxing out, and it almost burned him. 3 ball, and it's curled in. Humphrey stepping up in the third quarter. 15 points.
The scary part for Chaminade right now is that if you have Humphrey hot and Harrison possibly about to get hot, that could be a problem.
Gauss had a warm stretch too, knocking down a couple of threes in the first half. Here's Humphrey, he's feeling it. Here comes Jacob Humphrey. And here come the Tigers roaring back.
If Chaminade doesn't get a bucket on this possession, and you'd have to think that Coach Feeney and Coach Polo think about getting a timeout coming down the next time.
Elliott, not that time. Now the Tigers with a chance to tie or take the lead. Humphrey for the lead. Yes, sir! Big time 3 for Humphrey. That's his 4th of the game.
Coach Feeney looks like he's going to let his guys play through it. Timeouts are so important in a game like this, especially with the spread at 1 point coming down the stretch, late third, fourth quarter. So it looks like Coach Feeney's looking to keep the timeout in his pocket for the end of the game.
20 points for Jacob Humphrey. Here's Joe Nouse. Leaps to get it, picked up by Johnson. He pours it in.
3-pointer off the dribble, going to his left for the big man.
The answer back? Why not? Jacob Humphrey, 23 points.
For those that chose not to come out to Hofstra University to see this game, they're missing an unbelievable display of shooting by both teams.
Here's Nouse. Under 2 minutes to play, third quarter, and Timon with a 1-point lead. Gunther, nice find underneath. Dillon couldn't convert. And here comes Jacob Humphrey.
Looked like that shot was deflected.
Corner 3, Hicks, not that time. You could see the steam coming out of Humphrey's ears. He's that hot. Dillon, the answer back, off the mark.
For both teams, there's zero hesitation when they step into their shots. They always think the next one's going down.
Snapped up ahead, Dillon in transition and converts on a touchdown pass from Devin Dillon. Kyle Dillon with 10. Johnson, he'll hoist and hit. Oh, it's raining threes for both of these squads, and Timon back up by 2. Connolly on the entry feed, ball's loose. Here comes Timon, out of the pack. Jacob Humphrey, nice find underneath, and 1. Aaron Hicks converts.
That was a really nice job by Humphrey to take the ball to his left and create really, really good spacing on that 2-on-1 for the dump off at the end 1.
How about the emotion for Jacob Humphrey, willing his team into it? Now let's take another look, Andrew.
See that little movement to the left? Brought the defender over. He was able to dump it off to Hicks for the finish on the end 1.
One more for Hicks. At that time. 23 points for Jacob Humphrey. Bishop Timon looking like they'll take the lead going into the 4th. Cam Elliott to Connolly. Connolly lets it fly from the elbow. Can't get the friendly roll. Johnson goes to the deck. 1 second. And And here's Harrison, launches.
Surprised that didn't go down the way this game's been going.
We're 8 minutes away from a New York State champion. Jacob Humphrey doing all that he can and shooting it from way downtown. And the team from Western New York with a 4-point lead going to the fourth on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
Hey, it's Isaiah Hartenstein. You're watching Varsity Media.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Start of the fourth quarter, and you take a look at the Bishop Timon huddle here. Led by Jacob Humphreys, 23 points, and a good crowd on hand making the trip 7 hours south, hanging with the team in their victory over McClancy last night. And I have to love what they're seeing out of the third quarter, where Andrew DeLoya, it seemed like every three-point shot fell for both sides.
Yeah, I mean, both teams are stepping into their shots with confidence, backspin, follow-through, rotation on every shot, snap in the back of the net. That was a great timeout by Coach Rowe when they went down 10 to get the game flowing back in their direction. They got the pace the way they wanted it to, which is something we spoke about in the pregame, and now they have the ball in their best player's hands.
Johnson, he hit a three late in the third quarter and picks up right where he left off. Second triple for Damian Johnson. He's got 8.
When you have a player like Harrison that draws so much attention, the help had to come, and Johnson stepped into that one. Nice answer right there by Chaminade.
18 points for Ricky Gunther as he paces the crew. Twelve three-pointers already for Timon. Offensive rebound, it's Harrison. Inside and gets it to go. It doesn't need to be from the outside. Timon will score regardless.
He did a really nice job getting the offensive rebound and then pivoting twice to give himself an angle for a great finish.
It's Cam Elliott. Nouse, catch and shoot. Off the mark. And Kai Harris the rebound. Remember, it was Harris who got hot in the second quarter. He was at the half with 12 points after knocking down 4 triples.
We spoke about it in the pregame. They can get you in so many different ways between Harrison, Humphrey, and Harris. It's a three-headed monster, and they've all played a role.
This team can beat you in so many ways. Big reason why they won 25 games.
I don't think Coach Rowe was too happy with that shot. They've been attacking the rim, and he shot a contested 2 in that situation. And, as they drop back, I think they're going to look to get a better shot next time down.
Well, for Chaminade, minute and a half into the fourth quarter, what do you want to see out of them offensively?
Well, I think they got to get back in rhythm a little bit. They got to get the ball snapping. They got to cut a little harder. They got to get into the teeth of the defense to create shots. If they can get the ball into the lane, it'll open up some kickouts, some drives, and they got to get back in rhythm.
Unforced error by Chaminade. Timon with a 3 can go up by 10. Johnson, there it is. Not that time. Al Dillon, Joe Connolly. Look outside now, top of the key 3. Not that time, and we haven't really seen them get Devin Dillon involved in the second half as much. I know Feeney talked about it at halftime, but still have not seen their leading scorer get into the action.
Yeah, and I think he's going to look to make some plays down the stretch. I mean, I think that was also a product of Nouse getting hot during that stretch of the third quarter heading into the fourth. Like we said, though, I mean, they have 5 guys in double figures. You don't know who it's going to be. And at this moment, we'll look to see who steps up.
Connolly, active hands, and a good job. Jaden Harrison, the rip, but a foul afterwards. A double whammy on Connolly, the turnover, and then commits the foul. His first, and the team's first of the quarter. I don't believe we had a foul in the third quarter. And if we did, it's maybe 1 or 2.
When you have a team like Chaminade shooting so many threes, they don't draw as many fouls. And same thing was happening with Timon. They were so hot from 3 that you weren't seeing the attack of the basket that usually creates the foul call.
Harrison foul on the floor. Connolly with 2 quick ones. Gunther returns with 18 points. Gibson puts it on the deck and puts it in the hole.
That was a great substitution by Coach Rowe. He substituted Gibson for Hicks. Hicks took that shot from the foul line, and I think Coach wanted to get better shots down the court. And Gibson does that. He gets shots around the rim on rebounds and post-ups.
Chaminade ice cold. Harrison tries to fit it into the tight window towards Gibson. Timeout taken by Bishop Timon. And with that, we'll take the timeout with them as well. 4:22 to go in the fourth on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports. Varsity Media offers live streaming services for any sport. With human beings behind the camera, you can expect the proper coverage angles during each game. We offer customizable options such as live scoreboard, multiple cameras, instant replay, graphics, and even announcers. Find out how you can save $100 off a live stream package with Varsity Media by calling 516-403-2050 or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
4:22 to play in the fourth, and Bishop Timon is rolling. They lead at 64-55. Jacob Humphrey leads the way with 23 points, but it's been more Damian Johnson and Mike Gibson in the start of the fourth quarter. As Timon win number 26 will give them a state title. Still haven't seen Harrison get involved offensively. What's interesting, Andrew, is if you were to tell Feeney, hey, you're playing a game that Harrison is kept in single digits, I'm sure he would like those chances, but not the rest of the outpouring.
Basketball's such a strange game in that way. You just don't know who's going to hurt you on any given day. And, today the points from Gibson, the timely points from Gibson have come into play. Timon's support staff is doing a really, really good job, and their 3 best players are playing well. It may not be Harrison's best day, but he draws so much attention and trusts his teammates, and the other guys are making it happen.
Here's Elliott, lets it go, rattles it in.
That was a huge shot for Chaminade and a great timeout by Coach Feeney. When you cut the lead to 6, he can settle his team down now and say, all right, listen, there's 4 minutes left to go. Like when you look at this, passed up a good shot right here for a great shot. Stepping into it. All net. Then a good timeout by Feeney. So now you're down 6. He's resetting with his team, and he's saying to them, okay, listen, you're down 6 with 4 to go. Just a much more reasonable situation for a high school athlete to see when the coach is breaking it down for him. So I really like that timeout after the make there.
And Elliott wearing number 1 in yellow over there. That's 2/3 of the season last year with a hip injury, fell out of the rotation. He's done everything he can his senior season to stay healthy and be an integral part to Chaminade's success this year, averaging 13 points per game.
Full court press coming from Chaminade.
First time that we've seen that in this game.
Chaminade's not known for full court pressure, but in this situation, they have to have it in their bag if they want to make a run here late.
Humphrey hooks a pass to Gibson. Time on the side of the Tigers. They don't have to rush, as Gibson gets it out of a double. Harrison working with Dillon, backing inside and whips it. Humphrey, the pull-up. At that time, Gibson the offensive rebound.
Really smart play by Gibson to get it out.
Harrison high off the window, too strong.
Chaminade has an advantage.
Window left open for the Flyers. Gunther misses inside. Golden opportunity for the Flyers, and couldn't take advantage of it.
Chaminade still has 2 fouls to give before timing goes to the line. And that might come into play quicker than you think now with 2:30 left to go.
4 timeouts remaining as well on both sides. There's a third foul as Kai Harris will head to the free throw line. It's going to go to Devin Dillon, his third. Harris the junior. Look at that, 75% from the free throw line. This is a Bishop Timon team that doesn't collectively get to the free throw line that often. They shoot 66% from the stripe, but they win the championships as Harris dials them both in. Thrown to nobody. Dillon coughs it up, and Timon takes over. He'll go to his bench. Jack Connolly returns.
Could be going a little bit offense-defense right now in this situation.
And he brings in Greg Wyckoff, the sophomore, as well. It's an interesting core for Chaminade, and not to believe that they can't get back here again next year. They're graduating 5 seniors, but you've got 7 juniors and 5 sophomores, and who knows if there's any call-ups from the JV or the freshman team. Gibson to the wing. Harrison sets his feet. Can't dial it in. As Connolly off the bench goes to the deck and wins possession.
Foul call.
And that's on Harris, his second.
Well, back to your statement, I would never count out a Chaminade team. They're such a strong program year in, year out. They've built a culture of success. So it's always a reload with them. And their JVs is always well coached by Coach Ferraro. They're always looking to the next guys to fill in the spots. And so don't ever underestimate Coach Feeney, Coach Paul, Coach Ferraro, the Chaminade Flyers. They definitely have a chance to be back every year.
It's Joe Fleck trying to dry off the floor. And we're all set to resume. Timon with an 8-point lead, just over 2 minutes to play in regulation. Devin Dillon. He's got 5. And the lead down to 6.
What you don't want to do here is foul late in the shot clock, because the shot clock resets and then you've wasted the defensive possession. Big rebound there.
Yeah, they don't have to foul at all. Here's Devin Dillon. Bounce pass up ahead. Kyle Dillon. 66-62 Timon. And a timeout called. Feeney takes it for Chaminade, and the Flyers rolling in transition. Good defensive stop, Andrew. Let's see how they get it done.
Yeah, it was a great defensive rebound here, and then immediately Chaminade gets out in transition, and then a fundamentally sound bounce pass to Dillon for the finish. And quick timeout by Timon, and Chaminade's cut it to 4.
And you see in the Chaminade huddle is Kyle Dillon leading the way for Chaminade. Number 25 in yellow, we'll see him come out in a second, but you know, a lot of people are projecting him to be a Division I talent, low major talent, and he's really been as good as advertised and leaving it all out on the floor in the final game of the sophomore season.
Yeah, what I'm impressed about is on the defensive side of the ball, you look, he's been guarding Harrison the majority of the game. For Coach Feeney to have that much trust in a sophomore to guard Western New York's leading scorer says a lot about Kyle.
Press again from the Flyers, 1:25 to go. They get the turnover. Here's Devin Dillon to the basket. Can't curl it in, but a foul.
That was a great job on Chaminade to get the early trap, and it looked like a back tip on Harrison. And then Dillon immediately attacking the rim, which is what you need to do in this situation.
First trip to the free throw line for Dillon, and he misses the front end. To make it a 3-point game.
Still an opportunity. I was going to say, sorry for cutting you off, to cut it to a one-possession game.
Uncharacteristic empty trip. Ball still up for grabs. Devin Dillon saves it and then whips it to the wing. Connolly. 1:05 to go in the fourth. Connolly to Wyckoff. Handoff now. A three. He's fouled, and he'll shoot three. Kind of a cardinal sin to foul three-point shooter, and now, so he'll go to the line.
Yeah, you look here. Wyckoff chose not to shoot. You got Nouse coming off a dribble handoff, and right there, Harrison did get him on the arm, and I know that's not what Coach Rowe was looking for right there.
Now some money on the first one. 15 points for Joe Nouse. One more upcoming. Goes 2 of 3. 2 clutch free throws for Joe Nouse, and he'll go to the bench.
Chaminade can be aggressive here. They still have one more foul to give. But now that the shot clock is rolling, you don't want to foul. So now they need to get the stop and the defensive rebound.
14-second differential between game and shot clock. Here's Jacob Humphrey. Humphrey, 1v1 with Connolly. Kicks it off. Harris inside, loses the handle. Chaminade comes up with it. They've got a chance to take the lead. 26 seconds. Gunther finds it underneath, and there's Kyle Dillon putting the Flyers in front. Or he's tied the game. Kyle Dillon ties the game with 21 seconds to go in regulation.
Just an amazing job by Chaminade. Great dump off here. You see Dillon with the finish to tie the game. But since that timeout by Coach Feeney down 6, he settled the guys down, and they're in just a great position right now with a tie game and a chance to go to overtime or win it in regulation.
Yeah, and a good crowd on hand here. They've been loud all afternoon. All right, so that's the Chaminade side for Bishop Timon. What are you drawing up here with 21.4 seconds to go in the fourth?
Well, in a tie game, you want to make sure you get the last shot and you don't go too early and give Chaminade a chance to win it on the other end. Chaminade can be aggressive. They still have one foul to give, so you have to be strong with the basketball if you're timing. You have to design something that gets one of your best slashers going to the basket, so you have a chance for a putback or a kick out. And you want to make sure you're taking that shot under 5 seconds.
Bishop Timon, 25 wins in the regular season. Back-to-back Monsignor Martin champions. And now a chance to win a New York State CHSAA title.
It's been an amazing run for both programs, and to see it come down to a 21.4 second game is amazing. And they're creating memories as we speak. Let's see what happens.
Jacob Humphrey to inbound it. As it goes into Nakai Harris. And here's Humphrey. Who else? 23 points for Jacob Humphrey and a chance to win a New York State title. Here's Humphrey, the senior. He's fouled on the floor. Chaminade had that foul to give, and it stops it with 5.8.
Yeah, and they did a nice job timing that foul. They didn't foul too early. They didn't foul too late where they could have fouled a shooter. So now the problem is you got to make sure you don't foul at all the last 6 seconds.
Humphrey looks to inbound and flips it to Mike Gibson. Gibson with 4 seconds. Here's Jaden Harrison for the championship. Not that time. We go to overtime.
Wow. What an unbelievable game. What an unbelievable job by Chaminade. just when you thought they're down and out, they dug in defensively, they got stops, they converted on their advantage situations in the early offense, and now we get to watch 4 more minutes of exciting basketball, John.
And we'll have it coming up for you next on the Varsity Media Sports Network. You're watching Varsity Media, New York's high school sports network.
Hey sports fans, did you know Varsity Media live stream broadcasts get viewed by college coaches nationwide? Through our announcers' storytelling and insight on your athletes, we can help your players get an edge on college recruiting. Find out how by reaching out to Varsity Media today, 516-403-2050, or email ben@varsitymedia.net.
Been a game of haymakers, and we got free basketball overtime in the New York State CHSAA title game. Chaminade and Bishop Timon tied at 66 in the fresh 4 minutes. Alongside Andrew DeLoya, I'm John Perez, and there were moments in this game where both teams looked like they were on the canvas, only to swing their way back into it.
Absolutely. Both teams have demonstrated a tremendous amount of resilience. When you have 2 well-coached, athletic, skilled teams, anything can happen. And you saw Timon go down 10. You saw Chaminade go down 9. And both teams showed tremendous grit, getting themselves back in the game. And for us to get to see overtime basketball is special.
And so they'll re-jump. 3 seconds come off the clock. And Timon wins it to start overtime. Jacob Humphrey over to Jaden Harrison, a 3, bingo.
I was just about to say the first basket in overtime games is so important, so big for momentum, psychologically as well. So we'll see how Chaminade responds once again.
16 points for the all-time leading scorer in Western New York history. Joe Nouse off the mark on a 3, tapped out of bounds, and it's going the Tigers' way.
Chaminade sticking with the full court pressure, John.
Humphrey able to get across. Here's Gibson, and Chaminade on the call for steps.
I think they actually were looking for a hook call on Humphrey as he wrapped his left arm around the defender on the trap.
Harrison ball fake. Here's Humphrey, attacks inside and scores. He's been leading the way for the Bishop Timon Tigers, now with 25 points. Kyle Dillon, short on a 3, and Gibson gets the board. Timon can slow it down. And a timeout taken by Timon, and what's Jason Rowe seeing here? Or check that. I guess not a timeout. We've got a player that perhaps some blood on the jersey, or?
Is he cramping up? Yep, looks like a cramp.
Yeah, so Jacob Humphrey goes to the bench. Aaron Hicks comes on. Pass deflected, Gunther. The 2 mitts causing the turnover.
So now that's where that fatigue that we spoke about in the pregame could possibly be coming into play, playing back-to-back nights, staying in a hotel. If he's dehydrated, yeah, you can see the trainers right there stretching him out, getting him hydrated, getting him some Gatorade. With 2 minutes left to go, you hope the young man can finish the game.
18 points for Joe Nouse, who's energized. 2-point lead for the Tigers. There's Jaden Harrison. Gunther picks him up. Gibson the screen. Lets it go. Harrison, yes!
Tremendous screen by Gibson, and great job by Harrison, who hasn't had his best day, but he's showing up in the big moment.
Jacob Humphrey goes to the scorer's table. He'll check in at the next whistle. Elliott picks it up at the elbow, and here's Gunther. See if the Flyers have one more gasp. Gunther off the mark. Kyle Dillon the offensive rebound. Now, so another one? You betcha! And a timeout taken by Chaminade, and it's the big man knocking it down from deep, Andrew.
Yeah, Nouse has been hitting big shots all day. You see the shot by Gunther here. Tremendous offensive rebound by Dillon, and he didn't look to go right up. That's a great opportunity to find a shooter when you get an offensive rebound, and now stepped into another one.
What a day it's been for Joe Nouse, as he's got 6 threes. He leads the way with 21 points for the Chaminade Flyers, and it's always interesting when it comes to a championship game because you always expect the top 2 players from each team to step up. But for Chaminade, they're getting it done with Joe Nouse, and they'll take it.
Yeah, and I think Chaminade's a different animal in that when you look at their stat line, you see 5 guys who scored double figures. It can be any one of them on any given night. And Coach Feeney always prides himself on saying, hey, we'll take what the defense will give us. And Nouse has stepped into 6 threes, and I don't remember him taking a bad shot tonight. And that's a plus when you're a player and you know your coaches have confidence in you. They're not afraid to let you go, let you shoot, let you make plays, and he's made the plays tonight.
Feeney knew that he had a shooter in Nouse, obviously every day in practice, but Nouse knocked down 4 threes against St. Raymond in their non-conference game in December. He got a lot of inspiration to tell Nouse, hey, keep shooting it. And it's coming on full display in the title game. Here's Jaden Harrison with 1:13 to go in overtime. Harrison, nice find underneath. Welcome back, Jacob Humphrey. He's got 27.
And that was a tremendous find by Harrison. Chaminade doubled, and Harrison made the right pass to thread the needle.
Connolly, pass deflected. Under a minute to play in overtime. Kyle Dillon, short on a 3. Offensive rebound, the Flyers. And then a timeout taken by Feeney. Not sure what he saw on offense, but didn't like it, and they'll go back to the drawing board.
I thought in that situation, he thought he wanted to keep possession. It looked like one of his guys was about to travel. We'll take a look at it here. So let's see when Coach Feeney calls the timeout. Shot goes up. Right about here, I think he was just trying to keep possession of the ball.
The way it stands right now, 34 seconds on the shot clock, 47.6. So there's your 13-second differential. And in a 2-possession game, Chaminade with 14 fouls, so that'll send time into the line if they choose to go that way. What do you want to see them draw up here, Chaminade?
Well, Timon has 1 foul to give, and if you're Chaminade, you got to go quickly right now. You can't take too much time off the clock because it is a 2-possession game. So I'm sure Coach Feeney has a silent out-of-bounds play or a baseline out-of-bounds play that he's used this season. And, you want something either going to the basket or a clean look from 3, and then you want to make sure your guys are going after the offensive rebound.
Kyle Dillon to inbound it.
There's the play.
Yep, right over to Devin Dillon. Lead cut down in half, and now Chaminade looks to trap as Humphrey gets it across. Harris is doubled and fouled. And so this will send Bishop Timon to the free throw line.
I like the foul by Chaminade there to extend the game. If you don't foul in that situation, there's just not enough time. So he's putting pressure on Timon in a championship game.
Gunther picks up the foul and a miss by Harris, the 75% free throw shooter. It'll be a 1-possession game if Chaminade gets the rebound.
Percentages go out the window in a state championship overtime game.
100% as here comes Chaminade trailing by 3 in overtime.
And they don't need a 3. But it's the way they play, so if it's there, Feeney will take it.
Here's Elliott, off to Gunther for the tie. Bullseye! Ricky Gunther drains it, and we're tied at 77. Timon with its second opportunity to win a championship with 15 seconds to go in overtime. It's Jaden Harrison. Harrison with 9 seconds. Step back for the lead. Off the heel. Ball tapped around. 4 seconds to go. Harrison whips it. Here's Humphrey for the win. Short. And we go to double overtime. Bishop Timon with an opportunity to win it. Not once, but twice. couldn't get it done. And we go to double overtime, Andrew DeLoya. And we'll have it coming up for you next on the Varsity Media Sports Network.
You're watching the Varsity Media Sports Network, the home for New York high school sports.
Are you a local business looking for new and creative ways to promote your company? Varsity Media offers affordable rates that can get your message across to a demographic of 18 to 54 years of age. Our follower base across social media is over 50,000 strong, and our viewership numbers per game are in the thousands. Don't blow your advertising budget on old staples like TV and radio media. Reach out to Varsity Media to get the best bang for your buck. These fans have been here since the start of the game, and I have to imagine their heart's been in their throat. It's been a fun one. We go to double overtime, tied at 77, and Andrew, it's been a fun day of basketball so far.
Yeah, for me as a coach, I have to tell you, you said it before the game, I'm not going to lose today. And, Coach Feeney and Coach Rowe, they're doing such an amazing job in this game, and both teams have laid it on the line, and the fans have been treated to just an unbelievable basketball game.
Bishop Timon wins the opening tip in double overtime, just like they did in overtime, and Jacob Humphrey, who leads the way with 25 points, and gets it to Nakai Harris. Harris picks up his dribble, and here's Harrison. Remember that Timon played last night and knocked off Monsignor McClancy. As Harrison off the mark on a jumper. Fight for positioning, and Chaminade with possession. Joe Nouse. Good job by Harris stepping the passing lane.
Yeah, Harris with active hands late in the game. You don't see fatigue from him right now.
Kyle Dillon. Joe Nouse looking for a 7-3. You betcha. He's got 24 points, and Chaminade leads 80-77.
What an unbelievable way to end your career for the senior. He's really thriving in the moment.
As is this guy, the senior Humphrey. He's got 27.
What I like about that is they didn't look at the scoreboard and say, we're down 3, we need a 3. They stuck to attacking the rim and to keeping a 1-point game with 2.5 to go in an overtime game is a smart move.
Gunther flips it up. Can't put it in. Offensive rebound. It's Devin Dillon. Gunther hooks it to the corner. Elliott thought about hoisting. Dillon lets it fly. Too strong. And the rebound goes to Harrison.
This is where Timon's dangerous.
Jacob Humphrey doesn't use the screen, weaves inside, left hand, and puts it in.
He's cramping up again.
Yeah, we'll keep an eye.
And they can't stop the play, so Chaminade has an advantage.
As Elliott hits the 3, and a timeout taken on the other end. Chaminade with the 3-point basket takes the lead, and now Humphrey has to go back to the bench.
You know, this is where playing on back-to-back nights within 14 hours of your victory comes into play. Just an unbelievable shot by Elliott stepping into the 3 on the 5-on-4 advantage with Humphrey down on the other end.
13 points now for Cam Elliott. And Chaminade with a 2-point lead with under 2 minutes to go in double overtime.
And Timon coming down the other end with Humphrey on the bench.
Johnson. Up top to Harris. Towards Harrison in a push from behind. And we should send him to the free throw line. Kyle Dillon picks up his first. There's Harrison, a 79% free throw shooter. Nothing but nylon on the first.
You can see the staff for Timon getting fluids for Humphrey. So if you're Coach Rowe, you might want to even think about using a timeout right now to see if you can get him a little bit of time to get him back on the court.
do it there as Harrison goes 1 of 2, and Chaminade dangling a 1-point lead. Elliott. Here's Gunther. 1:15 to go. Kyle Dillon attacks and steps out of bounds. And Timon takes over.
The officials have been outstanding tonight. I mean, we haven't talked about them all day, and that's a tribute to a veteran staff.
100%. Joe Flick, Kevin Harrington, and James Howard. The 3 officials in this early afternoon game. Now in its second overtime. Just over a minute to go. Jaden Harrison. Blocked. Tie up. Chaminade ball.
Tremendous on-ball defense by Chaminade on that possession.
Jacob Humphrey still on the sideline for Timon. As we're under a minute to go in double overtime. Elliott, the handoff. Here's Devin Dillon. Curls it over. Elliott. Bingo! Huge triple for Chaminade as Cam Elliott gives the Flyers insurance. They go up 4 with 31 seconds to go.
It's a big-time shot by a senior in a big moment. Nouse and Elliott coming up big for Chaminade. You look here. Looks like it was a loose ball off a deflection. And Elliott picked it up off the ground and hit a 3. That's not an easy shot. You're used to the ball being put right on a platter for you with a backspin pass. To be able to do that off of a loose ball was really a big-time play by Elliott.
All right, so we're in the Bishop Timon huddle. What's Jason Rowe telling his team?
Well, I think he's hoping that Humphrey is ready to go. The last couple of possessions, he's had to do it without one of his biggest weapons. So in this situation, you want to extend the game as much as possible. You want to get to the rim as quickly as possible. You want to be as aggressive as possible defensively, trying to get steals, turnovers, and get to the rim. On the flip side, if you're Chaminade, you want to try to slow them down a little bit and make them take some time off the clock. There he is. Humphrey's back on the court.
27 points for Jacob Humphrey. And now Bishop Timon trailing by 4, trying to extend this game to triple overtime. Chaminade looking for the New York State title. And here is Jacob Humphrey. Humphrey in 4th gear to the basket. Hits the layup. Clock winding down, and Jay Rowe calls a timeout.
You couldn't ask for a better situation if you're Timon. They took 7 seconds off the clock, and now they have it as a 1-possession game. They did a great job getting the ball to the middle of the floor to Gibson. He made a perfect pass to Humphrey. Humphrey's rejuvenated from being hydrated by the support staff and made a great finish.
I think what we're learning is what the rest of Buffalo has learned this year, that even a 50% Jacob Humphrey is better than none at all.
I'll tell you what, I mean, for him to go off the court in as much pain as he went off, to be cramping up, and then to get back on the court and to reset his mind and to get his mind right to be able to make a play in that situation was really, really unbelievable.
All right, so if you're Chaminade, where are you drawing the play up?
Well, you're up 2 right now, and you want to make sure that you're spacing the court, that you don't put yourself in a situation where you're trapped and you turn it over. So one of the benefits that Feeney and Coach Paul have right now is all these guys can shoot free throws. So they should be able to space the court and get the ball into someone's hands who's going to have to hit a pressure free throw.
Kyle Dillon to Cam Elliott. Flipped across, it's Devin Dillon. And then alone is Ricky Gunther. Thought about pulling up, and Chaminade playing keep away. And finally, Cam Elliott is fouled. And it's Damian Johnson picking up his second. That was only the 4th team foul, and Timon will have to do it again. Going into the backcourt, Elliott. And Johnson in there with Humphrey.
One of the things, if you're Timon in that situation, if you trap sometimes it allows the opposing team to take more time off the clock. Sometimes you're better off just being matched up if you want to foul. And here you have Cam Elliott, who just hit a big three in the corner. He saw the ball go through the net. But I don't think anything prepares you for a state championship game. One possession, be on the free throw line with 11 seconds left.
Well, this is what you play for, and this is what you dream of. Cam Elliott could make this a two-possession game. Money on the first. One more for Elliott. With two of the biggest shots of his life, Chaminade goes up 4, and the Flyers take a timeout. You gotta love, quite frankly, the stones of Cam Elliott in clutch time.
Everything he's done in his career put him in a situation to have success in that situation. And for him to have 5 points in the last minute, happy for him. I know Coach Feeney prides himself on telling everyone that Cam Elliott's one of the nicest kids he's ever coached. So when you see a nice kid have success like that, it's always a good thing.
And remember where he was a year ago today. Fell out of the rotation, missing 2/3 of the season with a hip injury. And now putting his team in a position to win a New York State title. As the Flyers lead at 88-84. But hey, if the first 4 quarters and first overtime has taught us anything, it's not over yet.
It's not over. I mean, anything can happen in this situation. Timon does need to score really, really quickly with 11.5 left to go on the clock. No time to wait here.
And here's Jacob Humphrey with 9 seconds. Weaving inside, loses the handle. Chaminade takes over. .5 seconds to go. Double overtime. Chaminade to inbound. Elliott in the corner. Doesn't get fouled. 2 seconds. No foul is called. And the Chaminade Flyers are the New York State champions. They win it 88-84 in double overtime over Bishop Timon.
What an unbelievable high school basketball game.
Cameron Elliott hitting a huge 3 in the corner and icing the game at the free throw line. Joe Nouse led the way with 21 points as he hit 7 threes. What a resilient crew. Chaminade goes out on top. And credit to Bishop Timon as well. Their season ends at 25-3. Jacob Humphrey was the player of the game, though, right there, number 1 in black. And starting to feel it now. He left it all out on the floor, 31 points. His team comes up short.
Extremely happy for Chaminade, the coaching staff, the players, the fans. You feel for Timon, they laid it on the line, and you feel for Humphrey for not being able to be 100% there at the end.
Well, it was a fun one, and it's a shame that somebody has to lose the game. With that said, it's time for the presentation of the New York State Trophy. We'll send it down to public address announcer John Santamaria for the ceremony.
Your athletic director, Matt Weiser, and the head coach, Jason Rowe, who will hand out the runner-up plaques as I will call out the individual players on the team, starting with number 1, Jacob Humphrey. Number 2, Zaire Wallace. Number 3, Jaden Harrison. Number 4, Aaron Hicks. Number 5, Damian Johnson. Number 10, Nikolai Harris. Number 11, Jessen Huff. Number 12, Joey Insura. Number 13, Mikey Gibson. Number 14, Nicholas Hamid. Number 15, Nasir Wesley. Number 22, Nick Fisher. Number 23, Patience Nyamzima. Number 24, Jaleel Davis. And number 25, Alex Radicki. Congratulations to the Bishop Diamond Tigers, your runner-up in the 2024 State Championship game. And the flag will now be presented to the coaching staff. And now, I'd like to call out John Hornigan, the athletic director at Chaminade, and his head coach, Dean Feeney, and we will call out individual players from the Chaminade Flyers. Number 1, Cameron Elliott. Number 3, Chad Connolly. Number 5, James Prendergast. Number 10, Michael Weed. Number 14, Sean Stenko. Number 15, Ricky Gunther. Number 20, Ian Lorenzi. Number 21, Joseph Reading. Number 22, Greg Wyckoff. Number 23, Colin Courtney. Number 24, Devin Dillon. Number 25, Kyle Dillon. Number 30, Peter Tagios III. Number 33, Liam Gregory. Number 35, Salvatore Salamone. Number 40, Joe Canals. Number 45, Nicholas Morgio. Your team managers, Kristen Shaw and Luke Telesco. I'd now like to invite the coaching staff, the athletic director, and the team captains to accept the championship plaque for 2024. Your New York State Catholic High School Athletic Association champion, the Chaminade.
Oh, memories that'll last a lifetime for the Chaminade Flyers as they knock off Bishop Timon 88-84 in double overtime. Pause for celebration. It was a resilient bunch. Both teams pushed up against the ropes, but ultimately Chaminade came out to win this contest, Andrew.
Yeah, and you think about all the blood, the sweat, the tears that go into putting yourself in a position to win a state championship. I've seen Coach Feeney and his staff, how they work with their players, how they support their players, how they trust their players, and not only are they great coaches, they're great people, so they run a class program year in and year out. So it's always nice to see success and people rewarded for their hard work.
And fun to see when you can celebrate with your classmates as well. And that's what Chaminade is doing right now. We'll speak to our player of the game as well as he's making his way over to the table. And Joe Nouse will be that guy. A very triumphant, as we get the headset on, a very triumphant and victorious Joe Nouse leading the way, 24 points, 7 three-pointers in there. Joe, you guys are champions. Take me through the feeling.
Oh, my God. That was, I cannot describe that. This team, this is probably the best team I've ever played for. This team battled. There were times, this game went to double overtime. There were times, open the quarter, didn't play too well, down 5, down 7. Our team battled. But I think that just goes into our team practices so well. We got 17, 18, 19 guys here. We're all on the same page throughout the entirety of the season. No one lets up. There were times where people thought the train was falling off the tracks, but it wasn't. Need I say more?
Congratulations.
Showed off to the camera, too, and then we'll let Andrew get in here. And go ahead, Andrew.
Yeah, Joe, I just want to ask you, how does it feel to have a coaching staff that gives you the green light to shoot the ball the way you did tonight?
Oh, my God, it's awesome. These guys, they put so much confidence into me, but it's also because of the work I put in. My trainer, Jerry Powell, I owe everything to him. I came in there as a 7th grader who looked like he'd never shot a basketball before. I come out and make 7 threes in the state championship game. I owe everything to him and God.
Joe, in your last game ever for Chaminade, I know you're in the moment now, but what are you going to remember the most about your time in a Flyers uniform?
Oh my God, honestly, I think I'm just going to remember hanging out with the guys. I mean, there's nothing better than, getting beat up all day at practice, going out to get food with the guys afterwards, talk about what happened that day, and I'm really going to miss these guys. I love every single one of them.
Joe Naus, congratulations. We'll let you go celebrate with the team.
You.
Joe Naus is a New York State champion, as is the Chaminade Flyers. So that'll do it for our entire crew. Chaminade wins it in double overtime. For our executive producer, Ben Turchin, technical director is the immortal Chris Sweeney. Travis DeLuise giving you the moving images. For my partner, Andrew DeLoya, this is John Perez saying so long from Hofstra University. This has been a presentation of the New York State CHSAA Boys Basketball Championship on your home for all New York high school sports, the Varsity Media Sports Network.